Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. I've got some disheartening news to report. I learned uh, from the WQAD website, which is in the Quad Cities, that a little 14-year-old girl was died from bullycide. Basically, she was bullied to death. On her Facebook, she had posted a very saddened picture of herself prior to hanging herself. And my personal opinion is the ones behind it, the ones who drove her to this, should be up on charges. They should be. And I know bullying is like life on other worlds. We know it's out there, but proving it is another thing. I'm going to read at least two things. First comes from a friend of hers named Kelsey 4, and she says, "I know she was bullied at school, calling her names, telling her a bunch of hurtful things. But she blew it off, basically, because she always kept a smile on her face and didn't let anybody see her hurt." Another comment was from the same gal. I started it because there are so many people nowadays who are committing suicide because of bullying. We don't want anyone else to go through the pain her family is going through and all her friends are going through. We are going to do something. I'm going to stress this. An ex-boyfriend of hers and others at that school, at the Davenport, where was it? I just saw it. Okay, Davenport West High School. This happened on the 2nd of April. So her parents and friends and family will not get to know what Alice grows up to be. They've been robbed because somebody bullied her to the point of hanging herself. Where was the school, you say? That's who I put the lion's share of the blame on. This is where put up and shut up comes from. Schools do not want to know they have. I'll repeat this. Schools really do not want to know they have a disciplinary problem going on. And I'll get to that in a moment. Children have 4 options. 4. This is what they're told. Ignore the problem. Tell somebody in authority. Avoid the situation or avoid the person. And don't drop to their level. Ignoring the problem. They say, I'm going to point out the little problems here. Ignoring the problem. Can you ignore AIDS? And we saw what happened when we initially did that. Can you ignore cancer? Tell somebody, which I'm not saying you shouldn't. Kids who are being harassed should scream it to the hills till they're hoarse, till they get one person who will stand up for them. I'm not saying they should not stop telling people. They should. I'm just pointing out the hazards here. Telling somebody. There are two problems with that. One, it stops, yes, for X amount of days. But when it restarts, it's times the amount worse. On top of that, they throw the whole fact that they went to somebody in their face. On top of, when their victim goes to somebody, they tell that the harasser will tell that person that they were only joking, hoping that the person their victim went to couldn't tell the difference between being joked with and jerked with. Avoid them. How do you avoid? Tell me. How do you avoid a harasser? How do you avoid a bully and their friends? Tell me. It's like the bull in the china shop. Don't drop to their level. When school authorities aren't doing anything, what is the kid supposed to do? And that's what amazes me the most. I think that's what hacks me off the most, is the fact that social services will check out a house to make will literally white glove, surgical glove, a house when to ensure that a child is 100% safe before going back to said house. But yet, when it comes to our schools, social services has a persona non grata. This is a DMZ zone for them, which is wrong. And when the child goes to those in authority far too often, what do they say? You're not trying hard enough. You're not trying hard enough. Not trying hard enough to do what? Ignore them? I just pointed out the aspects of that. Telling somebody. We just discussed that. Avoiding and not dropping to their levels. We passed that exit a long time ago. What are they not trying hard enough to do, ladies and gentlemen? Keeping it swept under the carpet. We don't want anybody to know we have a disciplinary problem at this school. You know, I can understand stating that little comment towards one's academics, curricular or extracurricular activity, but right the minute you tell a child, someone who you are responsible for in the X number of hours they are in school, that they're not trying hard enough, you have a policy of put up and shut up. You are protecting the bully. And the garbage they are doing in school would not be allowed outside. You're aiding and abetting. And the saddest thing is if these kids are not part of the group that are going to bring good light to their school, through their academics, through their sports, through whatever, these children would rather be looked upon as the atlas so the other ones can. So you say, not trying hard enough, huh? Because here's the problem. It gets out. Not trying hard enough to keep it swept under the carpet. Look at it this way. If it gets out that the school has a disciplinary problem, no parent will want to take their kid to that school. No kids, no revenue. No revenue, programs dropped. And then what happens? The child who brought light to the harassment in the first place is consciously or unconsciously blamed for the loss of those programs. Yay, team! We come back to Alice Schmidt. a 14-year-old Davenport girl who was bullied to death. I personally think the parents and the family has the right to sue the school, the ones who were doing the harassing, and the parents, because all three of those led to this little girl's taking her life. And what will it take to end bullycide? And as that gal said, I think it's a wake-up call. We need to figure out where kids are coming to despair. I can tell you right now, because the people at school have a see no and hear no evil when it comes to kids being harassed. I'm going to pray for Alice Schmidt's family and friends. I'm going to pray for them, and I wish you would all do the same. We lost another one, ladies and gentlemen, due to bullycide. We sadly lost another angel.